Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the feature race at Del Mar on Friday, the $150,000 California Dreamin Stakes. This is at a mile and a 16th on the turf for Calbred or sired runners. Let's take a peek at this field. It really looks like an interesting betting race full of evenly matched runners, a couple of old timers looking to get back to their best form. We'll take the field in post position order, Mike. Let's begin with Tool Fog. This is a horse returning to turf. Last time he raced on the turf was two back, and I just think he found the mile and an eighth too far. He was prompting the pace in a race that fell apart late.
I mean, yeah, I'll give him the 9 furlong excuse 2 back. I'm not sure about the race 3 back, where I felt like that was a pretty good race for him to win. You know, on a clear lead, they weren't going that fast in there. He just wasn't good enough at the end of the day. He's going to have to do better than that to beat this field.
He has good positional speed. He probably will work out a decent trip under Rafael Bejarano. I agree with you, though. I'm not sure if he is of the quality of some of the real major contenders in this race. He's not out of it, though. No. The 2 is What a View, and What a View has been a really nice horse over the years in Southern California. Heck, he is a Grade 1 stakes winner. He won the Kilroe in 2016. He has been away for a very long time. He has had chronic foot issues. When he is right, he has big early speed. But I think it's fair to say I don't really want him at a short price off a long layoff.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I'll look at him, too. I mean, this is a pretty long layoff. I know it's a trainer change to D'Amato. You know, maybe he'll just come back running in here, Dan. His best race is too good for these horses. If he runs it, he's going to win. I'll just take a shot against him here and hope that he needs one off the bench.
Let's take a look at the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector, because we know that What a View from Post 2, especially fresh off the layoff, is going to show speed. The Pace Projector has the 11 and 10 in front of him. I don't think it's going to play out that way. I think What a View is going to make the lead and try to play catch me if you can. I just wonder if he'll be a little bit short off the bench. Grecian Fire, I think, is a very dangerous runner in this race. He seems to show up on any surface, dirt, synth, turf. I thought his race in the All-American 2 starts back on synth was very good. He found a good spot tracking the pace in behind. And when he was asked the question, he came with a really strong 3-wide bid, settled the issue nicely. His races on turf are solid. I think he gets some pace. Mike Smith aboard for Keith DeZormo.
I mean, I like everything that you said about him as well. That I really liked his race 2 starts back. I know it was on synthetic, but I mean, I see him running his races on just about any surface. I think he fits really well in this kind of a race off the trainer change.
One of the coolest horses in training is Ashley Loves Sugar. He has banked $1.5 million in his career. He has won 10 times, but he also has not won since the 2017 Charlie Whittingham. I don't know. I wonder if Father Time's getting to Ashley Loves Sugar, because you watch his last race in the Whittingham, and I think the old Ashley Loves Sugar wins that race. He had a good trip sitting outside. He came with a 3-wide bid. He had a big look at it. And he was flat in the lane.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I mean, he just seems like he's really lost a step. And, you know, when he was at his best, he was at his best going longer. So we're going to try and go shorter with him now. This is a spot that he fits really well in. There's no doubt about that. I just wonder if he still has it in him.
I'm concerned because I've noticed in watching a few of his races going back to the John Henry in September that he started wearing a blowout patch on the inside of his back hock. And I wonder if he's just started to hit himself right now, and that's bothering him. So keep a look in the paddock in post-parade. He's coming off a little bit of a layoff. Maybe Ashley Loves Sugar will fire fresh. We'll move on to the Street Fighter. Street Fighter didn't have an easy trip, I thought, last time out. It was kind of a weirdly run race in that non-winners of one other than. I thought he ran in spots. He was sort of in between horses on the backstretch. I think he backed out of there more than was shuffled out. And then down towards the inside, he just got stuck behind a dullard in the stretch. When he had clear run, he fired. The question is he good enough against this group?
Yeah, I don't know if he is, but if he can get the right kind of trip, I think he can make a little noise in here at least. I didn't pick him on top. I actually, in fact, didn't put him anywhere in my top 3, but I won't be surprised if he runs well in here.
Let's move on to the Hunted, who just looks like the now horse in a division full of Calbreds that might be on the decline a little bit or might need a race off a long layoff. The Hunted is just as solid as they come. And last time out at Santa Anita, I thought he got a decent setup. That was the race that fell apart. But he did make the first move into that race, off 4 wide on the turn. And Oscar Dominguez, who made the last move, and who actually is in very good form coming back to run second in the San Juan Capistrano, was able to nail him on the wire. I just think the Hunted makes a lot of sense in here. I just don't want to take a short price on anybody in this race.
Yeah, if he's too short a price, then I guess he's hard to like. We'll see how they wind up betting it, but based on his recent form, he just looks like a main contender from just about any angle in this race. I really like his running style too. He's just got that great tactical speed. He'll settle off the pace and then he will make his run in the stretch. I didn't have an excuse for him last time, Dan. I thought he ran well in that race. He just got caught by the last mover in there and it was going a little bit longer.
I want to talk a little bit about Hart Booten here. He's up next, and he actually ran some underrated races, I thought, as a 3-year-old, outrunning his odds several times. My main concern is he has come back now with 3 races as a 4-year-old, just does not look like the same horse with the same kick in the stretch, and he's found a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like his recent races either. When you go back to that Crystal Waters race back in April that the Hunted won, I mean, there were several of these horses behind the Hunted that day, and I just didn't really want any of those horses to beat the Hunted. To me, the Hunted just ran way better than those horses in that spot.
Rando the Bartender has competed primarily in turf sprints, but he can win a 2-turn race if necessary. We saw that on New Year's Eve. I think he's been compromised by slow-paced races and 5-furlong heats in his last couple. I think the Crystal Water is probably the race you want to pay attention to, where he was beaten by the Hunted and Tool Fog. And I really want your opinion on that race because I thought he had a good trip inside. He came up the rail in mid-stretch. He just couldn't get there. He had to wait a little bit, I guess, at the quarter pole.
A little bit, but I am with you. I thought he had a good trip overall in that race. And once again, he's one of those horses that the Hunted beat, and I just thought the Hunted beat them on the square, and I just didn't really want to take any of those horses to try to turn the tables.
Acclimate might attempt to go early with the big speed down towards the inside of What a View. I just wonder if Acclimate's one of those long-winded speedsters. I thought Martin Garcia gave him a great ride in the San Juan Capistrano. He stretched them out early, backed it down just enough on the backstretch where he had plenty left. And it looked like he had plenty left in the tank at the end of that race, despite only winning by a half length. Phil D'Amato mentioned in Jay Priven's race advance that this might be a prep for a longer distance race at the meet. And I don't know, it's just going to be a little bit tougher with What a View in here.
Yeah, with the pace scenario doesn't help this horse based on the way it should be run anyway. We'll see what happens. Maybe it won't play out that way, but it feels like it works against this horse who might just want to go a little bit longer than this.
Ultimate Bango's a tiny little fella, and I always wonder when I look at these sort of small pints if maybe they want to go further, but he's handled the mile nicely. He's finished first in his last 2 races going a mile, and last time out, with the first time with blinkers, he relaxed beautifully. Got a great trip under Fuentes, was able to just save ground, came out, and I wonder if the career best buyer effort was because of the trip, and I'm not sure that trip is available to him here.
And it'd be hard to envision him getting that trip in this race, and even if he does, he still has to run better than that, I think, to beat this field.
I would not sleep on Smoky Image. I remember when he won his first 6 starts and people were comparing him to California Chrome. That exactly has not worked out. He's on, I believe, a 15-race losing streak right now, but he also missed a year due to a major illness. I think he had pneumonia, according to Steve Anderson, and they just ran him on the dirt sprinting. I think that's nothing but a prep race. This will be his first race as a gelding on turf. He has positional speed. I love the fact that Flavien Prat retains the mount here on a horse that's going to be a good price.
Yeah, Flavien Prat's been winning everything at the start of the meet, so maybe that's a good sign for this horse. Forget about his last race. I'm sure he needed it. We'll see if he can step forward in this spot.
Take a look at our top selections for the California Dreamin. I'm going with Grecian Fire. I think he's really consistent. Again, he seems to fire on any and all surfaces, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of price. You know, Mike Smith's a great jockey. He just hurts your price almost every time you see him on a mount, but I think this horse fits at the distance. He was the runner-up in this race last year. I'm going 3, 11, 2, and 4. You are going with?
I took the Hunted on top. I will see what kind of prices. I'm sort of with you that if he takes a lot of money, I guess you don't really want him. I didn't think he'd be favored in here, but we'll see how that plays out. I'm glad you picked the 3 on top because I was torn between the 3 and the 6. I wound up going 6, 3, 2, and 4.
So many possibilities in this year's edition of the California Dream and a lot of hard-hitting Calbred or sired turf runners. It is race number 7 at Del Mar on Friday. Remember to play the card with a DRF Bets account. Sign up using the promo code HELLO. We'll give you a $100 bonus when you make an initial deposit of $100 or more. An approximate post time for the California Dreamin', 7 o'clock Pacific. Good luck.